1A. Good morning, friends. Namaskar to all of you. A very warm welcome to all of you to our 8th virtual discourse. As you know, the title of the discourse is on family this time. And I welcome all of you here to this gathering. The theme of the discourse today is on solidarity in the family, which is an ideal milieu for social responsibility and progress. So we will start with a couple of prayers. First, we will play a prayer on the computer, and it will be followed up by a prayer by Mrs. Basanti Shinoy. And then we will continue our program. We will have only 2 prayers. Thank you very much. Let's start the program. Adi, would you please play the prayer?
मुझे के निर्मल हृदय प्रदान कर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, मुझे के निर्मल हृदय प्रदान कर। हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, और मुझ में एक प्रशांत अंतश्चेतना को नवरूप दे। हे मेरी आशा, हे मेरी आशा, अपनी शक्ति के सहारे मुझे अपने धर्म में दृढ़ कर। हे मेरे परम प्रियतम, हे मेरे परम प्रियतम, और अपनी महिमा के प्रकाश से मेरे समक्ष अपना पथ आलोकित कर। और अपनी महिमा के प्रकाश से मेरे समक्ष अपना पथ आलोकित कर। हे तुझ मेरी आकांक्षा का लक्ष्य है, हे तुझ मेरी आकांक्षा का लक्ष्य है। अपनी सर्वातीत शक्ति के सहारे अपनी पावनता के स्वर्ग तक उड़ान भरने दे। हे मेरे अस्तित्व के आधार, हे मेरे अस्तित्व के आधार, और अपनी चिरंतनता के पवन झकोरों से मुझे आनंदित कर दे। हे तुझ मेरा परमेश्वर है, हे तुझ मेरा परमेश्वर है। अपने सदाबहार संगीत से मेरे मन प्राण को मुग्ध हो जाने दे। हे मेरे सखा, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे सखा, हे मेरे ईश्वर, अपने सनातन रूप के दर्शन करा कि मैं तेरे सिवा सब कुछ भूल जाऊं। हे मेरे स्वामी, हे मेरे स्वामी, हे मेरे स्वामी, हे मेरे स्वामी, और अपनी पावन दिव्य सुरभि के संचरित होने के सुसमाचार से मुझे आनंदित कर दे। हे तू जो प्रकट में सर्वाधिक प्रकट और गुह्य में सर्वाधिक गुह्य है। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर, तेरा स्मरण ही मेरी औषधि है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा सामीप्य ही मेरी आशा, तेरा प्रेम ही मेरा सहचय, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। मुझ पर तेरी अनुकंपा ही मेरी निरोगता, इहलोक तथा परलोक दोनों में मेरी आपत सहायक है। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। वस्तुतः तू ही है सर्व प्रदाता, सर्वज्ञ एवं सर्वप्रज्ञ, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा स्मरण ही मेरी औषधि है, हे मेरे ईश्वर। तेरा नाम ही मेरा आरोग्य है, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर, हे मेरे ईश्वर।
Thank you very much, Mrs. Basanti, for your soul uplifting chant. I'm sure it is going to assist a lot for those people who are unwell and the people who are mentally unwell and physically unwell both. Okay, friends, I welcome once again all of you, and our keynote speaker this morning is Dr. Afsane Motiwala. I'm grateful to her for kindly joining us this morning. Friends, you know that since last month that we had our seminar, the situation in our country hasn't changed much. In some places, the pandemic is dying down, and in some places, we can see that the numbers are growing. But before we proceed further, I just wanted to request all of you, let us observe together the COVID appropriate behavior and stay safe at home and protect our dear ones. And as much as possible, we try to avoid the public places and the crowded places so that we can help this our country to fight this pandemic in an effective way. As usual, before I request our keynote speaker this morning to address us. I will take a few minutes to introduce the subject of this discourse and why do we organize such programs from time to time. As you know, friends, that education, this program has been organized by the members of the Baha'i community, and education stays at the core of all the activities that we organize, as we believe that inadequate understanding and prejudice and ignorance has been the causes of most of the issues that is afflicting our society. Therefore, all our programs that you can see that they are not intellectually oriented, rather to inculcate education, change the mindset of the people, of the participants. They join with us and to tell them that please help us join our initiatives to make this world a better place. We have been receiving several mails from our participants and others who are somehow missing our programs to requesting us for the recordings of the discourse. We are happy to inform you that we have managed to upload all the recordings of the previous discourses on the YouTube, and you can see the channel on your screen. Please, you can view all the videos, you can see them, and you can like, and you can also publicize about it across your relatives, friends, acquaintances, anyone you feel suitable. If you want to contact us, you can write to us. There is email address mentioned in the channel. You can contact us there. The name of the channel is One World, One Family. So please do so. It will help us. It will help the initiative to publicize better. Thank you so much. Now let me talk about the subject this morning that we are going to discuss. We know that friends, that the family is the first unit of the society, and it is the nucleus of the society. And if we want to construct a better world, it has to start from the family. And all of us, we are family members, we are brothers, we are sisters, and somehow we must ensure that our families, the values are inculcated in our families, and these values are forwarded to the social space in turn. So therefore, this morning we have invited Dr. Afsane Motiwala, who is an educator, who is a homeopathic doctor by profession, but she is very active in the grassroots level for education, for moral education of the children and young adults, for building vibrant communities in the grassroots level. So who can be a better person to talk about the issue than Dr. Afsane Motiwala? So we have requested her to speak to us this morning, and she has kindly consented to be available. She is joining us from Nashik. She is living in Nashik with her family. So may I kindly request Dr. Afsane Motiwala to kindly address us and to shed light on this thought-provoking subject. Thank you very much. Kindly unmute yourself.
A very good morning to all the friends here, and I'm very happy and joyful that I've been called to speak on such an immense and important topic, which is the importance of family. And when I was thinking about this topic, a very, Abdul Baha, the master of the Baha'i faith, he always uses analogies. So when I was thinking about this, it came into my mind, a beehive. A beehive looks so, solid and huge when you look at it from far. But when you focus and go inside, you see it is made of small hexagons, small compartments in which the whole family of the bees live in that. So society at large, it may look large and, but when you look at it very closely, the very unit of that society is the families which live within that society. My experience on working with the families at the grassroots has helped me to realize certain patterns of understanding of the families within our society, especially our country. I've been lucky to work with many youths and families within villages and even within the urban area, within Nasik itself and some other cities also. But most of we know that India is mostly 60% village life, maybe more. And when we work with these village life and also the neighborhoods within the cities like Nasik and other cities, I have realized a pattern of behavior of these families, which before I present my PowerPoint, so that we go step by step and we will try to learn a little together. The pattern would be that, in today's society, especially in India, we are very conservative with our daughters. We are very, very, holding them tight within a boundary and in a hurry to get her married and get off the responsibility of having a daughter at home. So most of the daughters in our villages, they are very capable, very, very, very capable, but their potentials are remained inert. The potentials are not released because they are made quiet. They are not supposed to express their views. They're not supposed to say what they feel. And this is 90% of the population which I've been working with, especially in the villages. And in a hurry to get her married and get off the responsibility of what the family feels towards the daughter. But the son is, and even though she wants to marry and she wants to educate herself, she's not allowed. Her dreams are, made just a dream, and she's married off into a family whom she doesn't even know. And for the boys, they're very liberal. They say, never mind, let him go and learn, go seek aayega, whatever it is, but they do not realize that they lose that child to different bad habits, to different bad practices. And the son, even though he does not want to study, the parents are insisting, no, you study because you're going to earn for us. This is the general pattern of situations in the families that we have been working with last so many years. And so the son becomes rebellious, the son even abuses the parents. And I have seen families which have really, even though they were sad when they got the daughter and they were very joyous when they were happy when they got the son, they are repenting that, why did I get this son? It goes to that extent. So the families are in a lot of trouble. In every aspect, if you look at it, the families are in a lot of trouble, and we need to talk about this. We need to get the right preview of what a family is all about. And at this point of time, in the areas that we're working, in the neighborhoods that we're working with, thousands of families, due to the financial crisis, both the parents have to work. So that also adds up to the mishaps in the family, children not having enough quality time with the parents, not having education, the parents also not so educated. So the children remain, very suspended in the air as to what they have to do. And it's like a chain of action which goes around, and we lose our daughters and sons. And because the daughter has been put under so much of constriction, The moment she gets freedom, she even runs away. The moment she, sees somebody, even though not suitable for her, she runs away from the family. This we have been able to observe last so many cycles and years, but we have been able to work with the families and bring about a little change. But true education is very important. Unity in the family is very important. Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith, says marriage is a constitution. Sorry, institution. Baha'i marriage is an institution. And he further says that it's a fortress for well-being. Fortress for well-being. I mean, when I think of it, when you look at a kila, a fortress, you only feel security. So when Baha'u'llah says marriage is a fortress for well-being, that means whoever is within that fortress should be safe and secure and well-bred and educated. So and when the kings in the past would make fortresses, forts, they would do it for the protection of that place and that city. So just imagine every family, which are millions and millions of family, every family is a fortress for well-being for those who live within that fortress of that institution of the marriage. We again look at society and see that marriages don't last. It's become very difficult, very challenging for couples to stay together with harmony and unity. And many a times we think of marriage, and especially the youths of today, they get so carried away with the social media and the movies that are made, and they think that marriage is a very exciting and very momentary pleasure, whereas very well said that marriage is not a gallery, but it's a workshop. It's an absolute workshop where we work on hand in every day, every minute of the marriage. For so how many years it lasts, we have to work on it. I think till the last breath. So I would like to take you all through a series of quotations, compilations from the beloved House of Justice, and letters from the beloved House of Justice, the supreme body of the Baha'i faith, which they have made a compilation of Baha'i life, family life, and we will go through it. I will try my best to go through this together and understand what exactly means by a family, what exactly a family is for. So later on we can have question answers, we can have consultation and discussions on this very wonderful, and in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's impossible to bring about, to cover such an immense and intense topic. So if we can share the double click. So here we see that parents are responsible for children. If they have the bounty of having children, which is not everybody's bounty, when they have the bounty of having children, they're absolutely responsible for those whom they bring into this world. So Baha'u'llah says that parents will be asked in the other world. If they have not done their duty towards the children, the parents are going to be asked, they're responsible, they're going to be asked, and they have to answer as to why they could not look after and give to society wonderful beings. So solidarity in the family, the unity and oneness in the family, an ideal milieu for fostering social responsibility and progress, means creating an environment. The family is, actually family is an environment in which the family lives. So Baha'u'llah says that the environment has to be created. We cannot force children to do anything, but we create that environment within which that family grows. Like when you have a plant, you create that environment for the plant to grow, time to time food, fertilizer, the brooming and the whatever we do, we cut the branches if it tries to go anywhere else, make it straight. So that environment we create for that family. So and one more thing I would like to add is society is the reflection of the family. In which society we are living, what we see in society is the reflection of what the families are. So the family is the micro unit of society, but it is the reflection of society. So if we have trouble in society, that means we have trouble at the grassroots, that is at the minutest unit of society, that is family. So it's a responsibility, and again, it is a fostering social responsibility and progress of society. So if there is progress in the family, there's progress in society. They are the two sides of one coin. They cannot be separated from each other. So the House of Justice in the 24th November 2009 letters mentioned that the family unit, the nucleus of human society, constitutes a space within which praiseworthy morals and essential capacities must be developed. For the habits and patterns of conduct nurtured in the home are carried into the workplace, into social and political life of the country, and finally into the arena of international relations. So we are no more, independent, we are interdependent. So whatever happens in a family reflects internationally. So we are no more, no countries free from the world. We are interdependent. And if the family is healthy, so we are healthy internationally. So it's a chain reaction. It's a chain reaction that we see in society. So I would like to throw a little discussion on this quotation, which says that family unit, the nucleus of human society. Nucleus means something which is, nucleus is alive, something live which grows, and from 2 become 3, become 4, how many children come. So nucleus is something which multiplies and grows. So family unit is that nucleus of society. If it is healthy, it grows well. If it is sick and ill, then it causes illness in society and at large in the international realm. So, and one more thing, that praiseworthy morals and essential capacities must be developed within the family itself, because the nourishment, Abdul Baha, the master of the faith, says that within the mother's womb, the child starts learning. And within that time, from that moment itself, the child starts learning what it has to learn for this world. So within the womb of the mother, which is a world by itself, the child starts learning about what he has to learn within this world. So for the habits and patterns of conduct nurtured in the home are carried into the world. Okay, so now we talk about habits and patterns of conduct nurtured at home. If in home there is backbiting, the child learns to backbite. If at home the father drinks, the son learns to drink. And that becomes a weakness, not only of himself, but his future family too. So if in a family the parents are disunited and they have, fights, and they have arguments all the time, the child learns. The only way to learn is to have arguments and fight all the time. So within his own heart and within wherever he goes, within school, college, workplace, he finds that's a part of it, becomes a part of his life. So what he sees during these beautiful, tender years of his age within that family, he imbibes those qualities which he has seen within the parents, within the environment of the family. So it is not that the family is harmed. At the end of the day, we are harmed internationally if the child does not learn what the praiseworthy characters and praiseworthy conduct that he has to learn. So now we are talking about among the, can you remove that bit? Among the, yes. So among the signs of moral decay. So when does a society go through difficulty? When there is no morality left, when there is lack of morality, or there is moral decay. So signs of moral decay in the present social order is the weakening of the spiritual ties that bind the family. Failure within the household to acknowledge the equality of sexes and to respect the rights of children gives rise to a culture that belittles women and children, condones the imposition of a single willpower, will upon others, and opens the way of aggression and violence, first in the family, then at school and work, and eventually in the streets and society at large. We see there is a research done where they say that the young youths, the junior youths, the crimes that take place are done by the youths who are in the prime of their life. Maybe 70 to 80% of the crimes are done by youths who are in the prime of their youth. They have to be doing good to society. In fact, the crimes are done by them at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16, even lower than that, 12, or maybe 11, 12. They learn to do wrong and to, if we look at this social order is weakening of the spiritual ties which bind the family. What is that spiritual tie which binds the family? I think the respect and the unity of thought between the parents is the spiritual tie which binds the children together and the parents together. So if the father has no respect, if the mother of the family have no right of opinion and cannot speak, then the child, the son in that family, learns to be aggressive, and the daughter of the family learns to be suppressive. Means she gets suppressed at any point of life that she will go into her own family. So equality of sexes, which is a fundamental right and fundamental knowledge given by God in this age, is what is to be practiced in the homes. So the children learn. If the father is very oppressive, the children learn that, and the daughter learns to be oppressed when she goes ahead. And then that behavior is reflected in schools. We have bullies in school. If you see societies suffer with bullies, the children that bully, they are bullied at home. They learn to bully from their parents. Or if they're weak in giving their opinions, it is again reflected in the family life. So here we see that the reflection of this character is first in the family, then at school, work, and eventually on the streets. As we see, women are not safe on the street, children are not safe anymore on the streets, and then society at large. So under such circumstances, means the one which we read before, family environment, potentially the ideal milieu for learning the principles of consultation and collective decision-making, serves to perpetuate tyranny and oppression in society. So Baha'u'llah has advised that there should be consultation in the family. The family members should sit together, even a child should be included in the consultation in the family. If something has to be decided, the child should not be made quiet. The child has to have the right to express if they, and as you give them the chance to express, they grow intellectually and morally and spiritually. So in a family, consultation is the key of success of that family. Where we want to do something, even if the smallest thing, we want to go somewhere, the parents have to involve the children, not decide and tell them what is to be done. But of course, the children should know who is the head of the family, which is the parents, but still their voice has to be heard, so they will be able to progress emotionally when they go into society. So in the context of family solidarity, an essential point needs to be borne in mind. While many cultures emphasize the importance of the family, and there is much evidence which attests the positive role it plays in promoting social progress, it is equally true that excessive attention to family interests can lead, however, unwittingly, means unknowingly, to a narrow social outlook, one that is ultimately detrimental to the broader community. So here now we are looking at it at a different angle. We say that family life is very important. Uske bina parivar grow nahi hoga. We can't have a healthy family without the family being involved with each other and caring for each other. But if the family only concentrates on itself, then it has a side effect, which we read in the writings. It becomes us and them. So if the family does not learn that we grow only if we are connected to others, only if we take care of others, only if we care for others, in any way possible. If a child in the family does not learn that she has to share her toys with children who don't have, maybe in an orphanage or wherever, in a village, if she thinks that her food is only her food and does not share, so that child is going to be very self-centered and thinks that only my family is mine, others are others, and we are we. So they say us and them. The attitude of us and them will appear in the family, in their mind, and then it will be reflected when they grow up. So too much giving importance to the family name and fame also has side effects, that the children start getting egoistic about their family, as well as not being able to decentralize their thoughts for other people in the society. On this, we can have some interaction in the coming time when we have that interaction time. Can go to the next. So, how many the stable and united families that in their intolerance towards one or another segment of society instill in their younger generations an us and them mentality, heedless of the fact that the transmission of such poisonous attitudes stifles in their children, means it suffocates in the children love for humanity and hampers their sense of justice. So many a times, the parents do not let the children interact with children of, we have haves and have-nots, with children which of, we can say, lower standard of living, of children which we think are of different religions, different beliefs. And by doing this, the parents, unknowingly maybe, they are not realizing that they are instilling poison into the mind of their young ones by not letting them interact with society at large, loving them as they love their own family members. Children have to learn that they have to care for others too. So in many instances, having no tolerance towards one another, segment of society, we are instilling in our children and a new generation, us and them. This is us and that is them, which is very harmful for these children who are going to be our future, who are going to be our, our future generation to carry on whatever the society is supposed to hand over to them. So this kills the sense of justice in the minds of these children. And justice is, Baha'u'llah says, justice is beloved to God. Justice is a pillar on which the society stands. So it's no wonder if that is so, it's no wonder if upon attaining adulthood, individuals reared in such an environment tend either to be indifferent to the suffering of others, or to regard violence and oppression as justified. Indeed, even to contribute to tyranny. So why do we have so much conflict in society at this point of time? Why do we have so much of hatred in society at this point of time? Why is it that our fingers are always pointing towards others at this point of time? Because maybe by generations and generations, we are taught to be self-centered, we are taught to be that we are superior to others, or maybe we have not been taught that there is unity and equality and oneness of mankind. If God wanted to make anyone different, he would have made us different. 2 hands, 1 heart, 2 ears to hear, 2 eyes to see, the same color of blood throughout humanity. So if we were supposed to be different, that means we are coming from the same creator. So it won't be, we should not be surprised. Why we have so much of strife in society at this point of time? So while stressing the importance of family, solidarity, particularly as it pertains to social progress, we called for caution in this respect, less devotion to family interests diminish one's commitment to justice and compassion for all, or provide an excuse for perpetuating harmful mentality for us and them. So this is where, again, we are talking about disunity, which is taking place in society. The progress, social progress depends on it. If there is no equality, the social progress depends on that. So we see irregularities in behavior at all stratas of society. So the family unit provides an environment within which such lofty and world-embracing principles can be taught and nurtured. It is the matrix in which generation after generation can be reared in the conviction that the well-being of the individual is inextricably bound to the progress and well-being of others. So if the family is not progressing, we are not talking about material progress. Material progress can be done by the means that the family is earning, but if they are not progressing morally and spiritually together, if there is no unity within the members and within the moral capabilities are not enhanced in the family, then we will lose generation after generation. So the environment in the family is what matters which can make the child grow morally and spiritually, and hence helping the society at large to progress and care for the well-being of others. So without doubt, the social and economic development of your nation will require, especially among its younger generations, a fundamental shift in perspective, a fundamental change. It has to be regenerated, one that changes the way in which certain essential concepts are viewed. The true purpose of life, we will discuss this individually, the true purpose of life, the nature of progress, the meaning of true happiness. We are many times mistaken. What is true happiness? If the child is getting whatever he's demanding, is that true happiness? If the child is made so safe and secure that he has no difficulty in life, at the age of 11, he's got a phone, at the age of 12, he's got an iPad, you tell whatever immediately is given. So is that true happiness? We have to change our perspectives. A well-being and the place that material pursuits should assume in one's individual and family life. So we have to reconstruct our way of thinking as to what is it that gives my child a better future? Is it the comforts? Is it the money? Is it whatever the child is asking that will give him the bright future? Abdul Baha, the master of the Baha'i faith, says that do not give every comfort to your child. Let him have some difficulties. Let him grow with difficulty. It's not that we don't love our child, so we let him grow through difficulty, but because we love him, we know that with that difficulty, he will take shape. So, go back. So, one more thing is the purpose of life, which many of us also as adults, we have not realized the purpose of life. A mother sends a child to the school and says you should be first in the class. Top mein aana hai tumko, kuch bhi karke top mein aao. So the child thinks, no, by any means I have to make my mother happy. So why not cheat? Why not put my, why not take my, cheat my colleagues and get to the top? So this thought that the mother says, you become the top officer and earn and have a good bungalow and have a good car, is that the materialistic imagination that we are putting into the mind of that child. Okay, I have to reach to the top by not by oppressing and depressing others till I reach the top. So this is how right from childhood. आपको पहला आना है, सेकेंड भी नहीं चलेगा. अभी तो 90% भी कम है माँ बाप के लिए. So how is it that we are making a very selfish society? This competition has killed the spirit of justice. Baha'u'llah says there should be cooperation, not competition. So the spirit of cooperation is what brings the family together. Many a times when I think of this, I remember the very beautiful shlok of Bhagavad Gita. I'm in love with this shlok of Bhagavad Gita. I don't know my pronunciation will be how, but I will try it my best. That he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tata atmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashacha dushkitam dharma sansthavanatai sambhamami yudhe. So this adharma that we see in society, in the family, in the injustice in the family, preferring the boy to the girl. We should not be under the misconcept that no, it is now no more like that. Even the girls are given the chance. Only few percentage, you go to the villages, you'll know. You'll go to these neighborhoods, you'll know it's not true yet. It's not true yet. If the girl delivers a baby girl, still there is sadness and depression in the family. So when there is such type of, imaginations, which is wrong, which is a misunderstanding of the concept of humanity by itself, then I think everything changes. God sends his message. So the true purpose of life, what is the true purpose of life? That we all have to search and understand what is the true purpose of my life, which God has given with so much love. And the last slide we see, note here how easily the unity existed in a given family. The affairs of that family are conducted, what progress the members of that family make, how they prosper in the world, their concerns are in order, they enjoy comfort and tranquility, they're secure, their position is assured, they come to be envied by all. Such a family, but added to its stature and its lasting honor as they succeeded day of the world. So we see that when a family knows the purpose of its existence, especially the parents, first come the parents, they know what is the existence of this unit, small unit, very small compared to the world, but they know that this unit is to serve society at large, and this whole world has to be, shaped by this smallest unit. So when the parents are there, they know how. Of course, we all learn. No one is perfect, but to a certain extent, we know what is the purpose of these children, be able to serve humanity at large. Then I think all these things become true. There's tranquility, there is comfort, there is security, children feel secure in that fortress, and they can contribute to the well-being of the world, welfare of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Dr. Afsane Motiwala, for sharing your insights and thoughts about solidarity in the family. We know that value education, moral capacity building within the family are the keys to success in the family life, and the virtues will be carried forth to the social space. The question is, how do we get the inspiration? How do we know that value education is the solution. We know that at the level of individuals, we have to build moral capacities and teach our family members, educate the young adults. All of us, we know that. But somehow we are not getting enough inspired to do so. And all these activities and initiatives that we are trying to do in order to remind ourselves, to build consciousness within ourselves that let's do something, let's change our family setup, because family, as you mentioned correctly, is the basic unit of the society, and that's the only way that virtue can be carried forth to the social space. One of the main sources of getting inspiration is the holy scriptures of all the religions that we believe, that these members of the society profess their belief. So we have compiled a couple of writings from various religions, and we always do that in our program in order to inspire the participants to, again, evoke a positive consciousness within ourselves, and that how we have to guide our life. So I would request, I was just looking for Dr. Merchant if he is there. Yes, he is there. Okay. So he has arrived in time. So I will request Dr. Merchant to kindly read the holy quotes from different religions. Thank you very much. Dr. Merchant, please unmute yourself.
I was waiting for you to unmute. First of all, my little apology. I got caught up in a domestic chore. so little bit I got late.
Okay.
But I heard Professor Dr. Afsane Motiwala in a very brilliant and persuasive manner. She has described the plight of the families today in our society and what are some of the remedies and solution. Let's also turn our attention to the motivational quotes that you have provided from the holy scriptures of all the religions. In fact, Dr. Motiwala has already cited from the Bhagavad Gita a very powerful shloka. Here are the motivational quotes. First, from the Maha Upanishad. Only small men discriminate, saying, one is a relative, the other is a stranger. For those who live magnanimously, the entire world constitutes but a family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. From the Bhagavad Gita. Never hide anything from your partner. Never hurt your partner just for your own feelings. Be the strength of your love. Never leave them alone. Trust your love and whom you love. No one should abandon duties because he sees defects in them. Every action, every activity is surrounded by defects as fire surrounded by smoke. Strive constantly to serve the welfare of the world. By devotion to selfless work, one attains the supreme goal of life. From the Holy Quran, O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and a female, and made you into nations and tribes, that ye may know each other, and be good to the parents and to the near of your kin, and the orphans, and the needy, and the neighbor of your kin, and the alien neighbor. And be careful of your duty. Be careful of your duty to God, in whose name you demand your rights from one another, and to the ties of relationship, and give to the kindred his due, and do good to parents, kinsfolk. Do not ever sever your relationship with a member of your family, even if he severs his relationship with you. He who wishes that his sustenance be increased for him and his death day be delayed, then he should pay attention to his kinsfolk. From the Holy Bible. Honor your father and mother. Then you will live a long, full life in the land of the Lord your God is giving you. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake your mother's teaching. They are a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. A wise son brings joy to his father, but a foolish man despises his mother. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, for this pleases the Lord. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. For whoever does not love their brother and sister whom you have seen cannot love God, whom they have not seen. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children are walking in the truth. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. From the Buddhist scriptures. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and child, and to have a simple livelihood, this is the good luck. Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others. A family is a place where minds come in contact with one another to enjoy good health, to bring true happiness to one's family, to bring peace to all. One must first discipline and control one's mind. If a man can control his mind, he can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally come to him. Love the whole world as a mother loves her only child. Just as a mother would protect her only child with her life, even so, let one cultivate a boundless love towards all beings. From Baha'i writings. According to the teachings of Baha'u'llah, the family, being a human unit, must be educated according to the rules of sanctity. All the virtues must be taught the family. The integrity of the family bond must be constantly considered, and the rights of the individual members must not be transgressed. The rights of the son, the father, the mother, none of them must be transgressed. None of them must be arbitrary. Just as the son has certain obligations to his father, the father likewise has certain obligations to his son. The mother, the sister, and other members of the household have their certain prerogatives. All these rights and prerogatives must be conserved. Yet, the unity of the family must be sustained. The injury of one shall be considered the injury of all. The comfort of each, the comfort of all. The honor of one, the honor of all. The family unit, the nucleus of human society, constitutes a space within which praiseworthy morals and essential capacities must be developed. For the habits and patterns of conduct nurtured in the home are carried into the workplace, into the social and political life of the country, and finally, into the arena of international relations. These are the motivational quotes selected for this virtual discourse. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Merchant, for reading the motivational quotes. Now, before we proceed further, we would like to take a group photograph of all the friends. So I request the friends to switch on their videos in order for us to take a good group photograph. And then we will have the comments of the participants and questions and answers. wait for a while. Adib, please take the group photograph. The second screen also. Adib, the second screen also. Okay. Okay. Now we will go to, I request all the participants to actively participate in the deliberations, and please raise your hands if you want to share your views, you have any short thoughts to share, and any questions to ask, or any comments to make. So we will unmute you and you can share your thoughts and ask questions to our keynote speaker. Um, yeah. One of the things that I wanted to point out before the friends share the views is that what Dr. Afsane Motiwala was talking about is the excess attention to the families. And that is one of the negative things happening in our society, that people are day to day becoming more and more self-centered and selfish, that us and them mentality, which is cultivated in the family members, that it's we and it's them. Uh, so on the one hand, we have to teach the family members and our relatives the virtues, and the moral capacity building has to happen in the home environment. But at the same time, we also have to inculcate the virtue of consultation and fairness and collective decision making, and inculcate an attitude of oneness of humankind, which was pointed out by Dr. Motiwala. So, to my mind, that is more dangerous than if not having a virtue and keeping silent. You know, at times we don't harm others by staying mum, but at the same time, you tacitly collude with the oppressors or the wrongdoers. That is actually more dangerous to think about. So now I will request the friends. I haven't seen. Please show me your hands so that I can unmute you. I have several friends to see. One is our friend. Can't see. So yes, yes, I can request Mr. My friend Mr. Bhupinder Singh. Is he there? I wanted to share his views. You can share your views.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. I am very much here. How are
Yes,
you?
yes. Please, thank you very much.
And
Please share your views.
thanks to Dr. Afsane Motiwala, madam, for a very wonderful talk. Very, very wonderful talk. Very wonderful and very, what should I say? She stressed certain very important points. Very important points, which even I, ponder several times. So, as we know, family, no doubt, is the smallest. We can call it smallest unit of the society, but before that, another unit comes, which is the individual. So the society begins with the smallest unit, which is the individual himself or herself. the individual. The second stage is the family. The third stage is a group of people. Fourth stage is perhaps a society. The fifth one is a community and a state and a country and the whole world and the universe. So no doubt that family is very important unit, and the harmony in a family is something which, if the harmony is established in a family, it will get translated into a nation as a whole, into the whole society as a whole. If the whole society in harmony. So, few points which regarding the status of the female, the girls, the women of our society, not only in our country but also elsewhere, which Madam Mutiwala spoke about, is that no doubt that the women, the girls, females, they we have seen that often they have been given the second position as compared to the males. So I remember one of the interviews which happened in the Union Public Service Commission of this country. A lady went for an interview for the civil services, and she was asked, the first question she was asked was, what do you think is the status of the women in our country, the girls in our country? And you would be surprised what her answer was. Her answer was, women or girls in our country are garbage. That lady answered, what do you think about girls of this society? Her answer was, the females in our country are garbage. And then she was asked, what do you mean by garbage? That lady answered that, sir, when a girl is born, first opportunity is explode how to throw it, throw that newly born child. Even before that, the unborn child, it comes to the knowledge of the family many a time, not always, many a time they get rid of a child which is going to be born. So after the birth, again that theory applies. Then during the growing up days, during growing up years, then education and everything, the second status, secondary status, and it happens till the end. When she is married, she simply said कि इसको किसी तरह से नक्की निकालो करो, हमारी प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो जाए, हमारी ड्यूटी खत्म हो जाए. As if it is a burden, as if it is some sort of activity which is to be performed just by hook or by crook or by any any means. So no doubt, when we talk of the family, the harmony in family, the stability in the family, both the gender, the male, female, and the other whichever gender, the neutral gender also, whoever is born in the family, the individuality, each gender, the individuality of each person in the family, each child in the family, each adult in the family is very important. In fact, the today's discourse, the home page, the first poster page of today's discourse, which was displayed at the beginning of this session, it was written there that the unity of the family is also be considered, the family as a whole should also be considered, but at the same time, the individual's rights should also be considered equally. The obligation of each individual towards other individuals and to the family as a whole should be important, but at the same time, the rights, the thoughts, the feelings of an individual himself or herself should also be of equal importance. And that is what Dr. Merchant also said, that in his the excerpts that he has taken from various sacred books, that individual obligations and the obligations of an individual to his father, to his mother, of mother and son to the child, and so on and so forth, are to be considered, are to be given importance. At the same time, the individual as such should also be given importance. Unless or until each individual is at peace in his heart, in her heart, each individual is stable emotionally, each individual is in harmony with himself or herself, he or she can't contribute to the overall harmony of the family as such. So it begins with the individual, then to the family, and then to the whole world. So I really congratulate Madam Merchant, Madam Motiwala, and I also congratulate her that she is doing such a good social service, being a doctor by profession in the homeopathy hospital. My many thanks to you, Madam Motiwala, and to Jiten Mishra sir and to Merchant sir for this wonderful discourse. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Upinderji. Thank you very much. Before Dr. Merchant has a question, but before that, I have a question also to Dr. Motiwala. Is that how do we know that we already talked about it? That we know that we have to protect the rights of the family members. That's what the writings say. And now, who decides what is the right of a particular member? So, can you tell us how do we decide that? Dr. Motiwala?
Yeah. There is a beautiful book by the hand of the course, a very, very learned scholar, Dr. Furutan, which in that book, it's the title of the book is Mothers, Fathers, and Children. And in that book, very beautifully, he has expressed that in a family, the child, of course, is a bounty given to the family, and the children in the family should know, he had used the word, they should know who is the boss. So actually the role of the parents is, as he had used the word boss, is the head of the family. Means it can be in combination of both father and mother. They are the head of the family. So the child should see that there is unity of thought and unity amongst the two. So that when the child sees the unity among the two, the parents, then he knows that he cannot manipulate. Once he sees this unity among the parents, because the child is very intelligent, so he knows, he gets the art of manipulating and getting the yes from the parent, you know what you say, manipulating the fact that there is no unity amongst them. So the right of the parents is to be the one who runs the family. But at the same time, children have equal right in running that family in the sense of, their idea, their opinion, their, when you give a child the right to express, and when they see that when the child wants to express something, he knows that if both the parents, the mother and father, are united, their answer will be one. So automatically the children will obey the parents.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So the child press to give opinion, but they know that the parents are the head of the family.
Thank you so much.
Parents are the head of the family, and that is how the orders. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Merchant, you want to ask your question yourself?
Yeah, I have put this question in the chat box. I've written that how do families strengthen their relationship with the schools and educational system? Because I believe schools or educational institutions are an extension of the family as children grow up from childhood to junior youth to youth. So may I request our keynote speaker, if you can kindly elaborate, because schools are an extension of how the children are being shaped, both in terms of their outlook to life, their ethical standard, moral and ethical standards. So I know that since I also work with some schools, some of the schools make it mandatory for parents to regularly meet the teachers of the classes where the child is studying, so that the parents and the teachers, they have a cordial interface. And if they see any problem in a child, then they are collectively able to perhaps solve it. Perhaps Dr. Motiwala, Afsane Motiwala, who has rich experience working with her hospital system and also with her own school systems to a little bit elaborate on this subject. Please. Dr. Afsane, if you can kindly.
She got disconnected. Oh, I think she got disconnected, Dr. Merchant.
Doesn't matter. The question is also in the chat box.
She's there. No, she's there. She's there.
I don't know if she was able to get the question. The relationship of the families with the school system, especially when children are small, and then later educational institutions as the child is growing up.
Are you able to hear? Dr. Motiwala, are you able to hear? Adib, is there a problem?
Madam Afsane?
Okay, I think there is
Okay, all right. Yeah, some connectivity problem. All right, doesn't matter.
There is some audio issue.
Yes.
Now, this question comes again and again to mind when we see across the
Dr. Merchant,
society.
I got your question.
Okay.
The internet.
Oh,
Yeah, heard?
yeah, I can hear you. I hope the other friends also.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. She has problem with the audio system. Anyway, the point is that what I was mentioning is that across the society, we find that when the selfishness is increasing and people are losing their belief in the institution of family, and there is a large population, especially in the Western setting, you see that they don't wish to get married. Even if some of them wish to marry, they don't want to marry officially. They want to do it on an ad hoc basis, taking the loopholes in the law to companionate marriage, or we call it, just to stay as partners, and they don't believe in having children. So how do we encounter such mentality, which is rampant and slowly spreading in our country? How do we encounter this? Yes, please. Yes. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, can I be heard now?
Yes, please.
Yes, okay, yes. So about the question that Dr. Merchant had asked, is that the whole education system is faulty? Because the only thing that most of concentrating on is competition, is only academics. So many children are only struggling their whole beautiful, most important years of their life, struggling to bring marks.
Okay. I think there are some technical glitches. We can't hear anything what she's saying. Can't hear anything what she's saying. Okay, are there any other thoughts? Mr. Hemati, you are also running a school. Would you like to share your thoughts before we proceed to the next program?
So nice to be in this enlightened gathering and enjoyed the topic, which is very, very beautifully spoken by Dr. Afsane Motiwala. And as Dr. Merchant has put it very rightly, it is educational institution and extension of the family. And in the words of the Universal House of Justice, it is said that children are the most precious asset that the community can possess, for in them are the guarantee and promise of the future. So if we really want to have a peaceful society, a united society, where humanity is progressing and prospering and there is security and well-being of everyone, so it is really necessary that the parents become supporters, and also there could be reflection on what is happening, because everything we discuss about consultation, then study, and then reflection. We need to really think how these three units, that is family and the school and the child, because the child comes to school and it is not the property of the school, and most of the time the child is at home and sometimes about 4 or 5 hours in the school. So if the parents are really come in contact and close collaboration is there, then the schools, particularly the head of the school, make sure that teachers are very friendly and willing to interact with the parents. And it is a very good suggestion that once in a while, parents of different classes, you cannot have a large gathering, but if it is 1 or 2 classes, and when the parents come together and the teachers are there, and everyone in an environment which is very joyful, which is friendly, children could come also. And we have to make the environment very happy environment, because it should not be that anybody criticizing or anybody blaming. So everything comes again back to environment, as Dr. Afsana Motiwala was pointing, that this environment of the family, environment of the school, everything should be with a selfless devotion. It is with devoted attitude. Teachers are dedicate themselves, and then parents come, they are well-wishers of the school, and then the child knows how that he has to be nurtured. Everything has to become, very has a spiritual foundation, in which just now we read about controlling our mind. Sometimes we become little aggressive, or we lose temper, or we are not very much concentrating and reflecting on our achievements. We have to be very much happy, joyful, because we are doing something and we are believing in each one's contribution. So we should have a welcoming, attitude, that everyone is in the family. Every parents have right to come to school. We invite them, we welcome them, but relationship is based on mutual and respectful attitude. Thank you.
Mr. Mugbelpur wants to share his views. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Afsana. It was wonderful talk. And thank you, Dr. Mishra. It was very beautiful topic which we are discussing. Just as we are also running school since more than 37 years. And what Dr. Afsana was telling about the book, Mothers, Fathers, and Children, that book we are giving to parents since 33 years. When we saw the author of this book, Dr. Furutan, and we got his permission whether we can give it to parents. And he said, yeah, it is more than 30,000 copies was printed in the Russian language. So why not? So since more than 33 years, 34 years, we met him in Holy Land, in Haifa. So every parents who get admission, we give them this book also, the Mothers, Fathers, and Children. And this is a very great help for parents, because there are so many doubts and so many questions that parents are having, especially new parents. But first time they have a child and all. And it is very great help to them. And they get so much of guidance from that book. And second thing, I wanted to say that we are have to spiritualize the atmosphere. That as we are teaching the children academic education and as well as also spiritual education, so that the children will have both. Suppose, for example, every year on the International Peace Day, 21st September, International Peace Day, we take the senior children to different holy places, like to Ram Mandir, we take them to Gurudwara, we take them to mosque, we take them to church, we take them to Buddhist temple, we take them to Baha'i house, and all the holy places. So the children will find that in reality, that the fundamental purpose of all religion is one. The aim is one. So once they're spiritual, so nothing can harm them what is happening outside the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mukbelpur. Now I request Mr. Bijay Chadha will be the final speaker, and then we move on to the next program, the final part of the program. Mr. Bijay Chadha, are you? Oh, that's Mrs. Sorry, I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
Allow me to mute.
Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really thankful to you to give me a little permission to speak on this topic, on the question asked by Mr. Merchant. Of course, before me, two speakers spoke very well that how the parents need to connect with the school. I would just like to say, whenever the parents are choosing a school, they should not go by the facilities or the building or the aura of the management. They must choose a school with a wise mind. They must choose a school by seeing what are the values of the school management is holding. If they choose a school based on the values of the management, based on the kind of curriculum being taught, curriculum which is value based, and the kind of honesty at the level of the management, then only the honesty percolates to the teachers and to the students. This is one point. Because in today's world, there are so many schools mushrooming up, and everybody promises to make your child the God. And on the way, they are actually in a rat race. The schools are in a rat race. So maybe a village school where people are honest, what they're giving to your child. Maybe the teachers can't speak fluent English. Maybe they have their own accent. That's fine. So this is my first advice. Second, Mr. Merchant, and to everybody else, be honest to the school yourself. Usually, I've been an educationist for last 37 years. And I live in the same society. When I would move around, people gossip about schools. They're sitting in front of the children and talking, this school is good and that school is bad. I am moving my child there because that school has a good building or that principal has got that award. And children listen. What are we? I think in Baha'i faith, gossiping is totally, under inverted commas, banned. So the gossip in front of the children about their world, which is a school, should be totally avoided. Trust me, when children see good parents at home, because values are caught, they are not taught. If parents have, if they want their child to fold a sheet when he gets up, the parents have to do it first. So if values are caught by the children and parents respect the school after they have chosen the school after much deliberation, trust me, relationship between the school, society, parent and children will rock, and we will have many Shanti Niketans in our world. Thank you so much.
Wonderful view by Madam Chadha. Anyway, we go to the final part of the program. Friends, we know that those who have educational institutions, it's easier for them to share the values because they have teachers, they have children, they have access to the facilities. But then those who do not have, those who are simple individuals, what should they do? So the idea behind this is to why I'm saying this is that the final part of the program is the statement of pledges that we do in all the programs to remind all the individuals they also have a role to play. What role do they have to play? So this is what we are going to learn from the statement of pledges, and Mr. Rao is going to read the pledges, the statement of pledges, and I request Adib to unmute the participants so they can repeat the pledges after him. So I request Mr. Rao to read the pledges slowly so that the friends can repeat it after him.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
So I read the statement of pledges. We have 5 of them. The first one is, we understand.
We understand.
The family.
Understand.
That the family.
That the family.
Being
Yes.
the nucleus.
The nucleus
Of the human society.
Of the human
society.
Is a place.
Is a place
Where values.
Where values
And virtues. Must be developed to carry them to the social space. We promise to strive inculcating noble virtues in our family members and our immediate neighborhood. We recognize that spiritual ties that bind the family members are weakened over the recent years. We promise to build a culture in the family that respects equality of sexes, protects rights of both younger and
members.
My screen has gone.
No, screen is there.
Yeah.
No,
Screen
I was
is visible.
checking in my
Yes.
own screen.
Elder members.
Yeah, elder members
Members
encourages consultation, fosters fairness and collective decision
and
collective
collective decision making.
making. We recognize
We
We
recognize
recognize
that
that
excessive devotion
excessive devotion
to family interest
to
family
family
interest
leads to
leads
leads to
narrow
narrow
social outlook
social outlook
and
and
creates
and
creates
create
a divisive
divisive
us and them
us and them
us
mentality.
mentality.
We promise
We promise
to make efforts
to make efforts
that
that
not only promotes
not only
promotes
family solidarity
family
solidarity,
but
but
simultaneously
encourages
encourages empathy
empathy and compassion.
and builds a consciousness of
oneness of humanity.
Oneness of humanity.
Can you see the next? Can you see the next one?
Yes.
One second.
Yeah, we understand.
Yes, there is one more.
Yes.
We understand.
We understand
That every family can play a positive role to promote social progress.
Promote social progress.
We promise
to work
for creating environment,
a better home environment
that respects the interest of others, emphasizes the importance of service to neighbors and rejects indifference to suffering oppression of others
and oppression of others.
We recognize that an atmosphere of greed
acquisition of wealth
and a culture
of
consumerism has surrounded
the individuals
and the family. We promise to educate our loved ones and the real place of material pursuits in one's life. Ethical ways of acquiring wealth, its judicious utilization.
and a deeper
And
understanding
deeper
And a
understanding
deeper
Deeper
understanding
Deeper understanding
of the true purpose
of the
of the
true
true
purpose
purpose
of human
human
existence.
The
of
true
Human
human
purpose
existence.
existence.
of humanities, of human existence.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Rao. So this statement of pledges
Somehow
we do
I
every.
got disconnected.
Okay. No. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Dr. Mishra, somehow I got disconnected, but I
Okay. No problem.
think
No
I have
problem.
done almost the whole.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So that's the downside of technology. Sometimes it happens beyond control. You can't do anything about it. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so friends, we have reached to the end of the program, and I thank all of you for joining us, and I thank Dr. Apsane Motiwale, who was kind enough to address us this morning, and I thank all the previous speakers, all our friends, Dr. Merchant, Mr. Rao, Mr. Singh, and all other friends who have joined us this morning. So, what should we carry home? What should we conclude? Before we conclude, we should have something in our hand uh, to say that we attended this discourse and we learned this, and henceforth we should be doing that. So I believe that these programs are not for intellectual expressions and not for stimulating our only mental faculties, but also educating the society around us, which is the prime responsibility of each and every individual that inhabit on this planet. So let's teach our children, our family members, not to stay indifferent to the human misery that we see around us, and we see whatever we can do in our capacity, we must try to render our services to them. And we also see that we don't tacitly support, even indirectly, we don't even support the wrongdoings or the oppressions or the whatever we see that things are happening around us, we should not support it. And we should see that all our acquisitions, mental faculty or physical possessions, whatever we have, they are used for the service of the general good of the human beings who are around us. And we should justify that we are human beings different from all other forms of life because we have been endowed with the mental faculty by the Almighty Creator. So with this note, we wind up the discussion, and we thank you very much for joining us this morning. We thank once again our keynote speaker, our other friends who have joined us, and we promise to come back in a couple of weeks' time again with another educative theme to discuss with all of you further. And please help us to promote this small initiative that we have been doing. Please visit our YouTube channel, watch the previous videos that we have uploaded. Please try to share with your friends, families who are yet to hear about us. And the only solution, dear friends, is to endow a better understanding across the society and to bring about a kind of better insights for a better society and to create a new race of man for the future. Thank you very much, dear friends. It was a pleasure meeting all of you, and we will see you again in a few weeks' time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you
care.
very much. Thank you.